Hey guys, Crazypostman here. Well, I come to you yet again with another small wireless microphone. Now, if you remember just a few weeks ago, we were talking about the DJI Mic Mini. Yes, I think I have a problem with buying these things. I don't know why I keep buying them. I guess I'm just a super nerd. But today we're going to be looking at the Hollyland Lark M2S. And I'm going to go over what this is. We're going to review it and we're going to compare it to the Lark M2 because that is my favorite microphone. I love the Lark M2. So we're going to see if this one stands up to the Lark M2 standards that's been a staple in the influencer and TikTok YouTuber space. So let's go ahead and we'll do an unboxing and go over the specs. And then we'll test the audio quality and back-to-back comparisons with the Lark M2 and the Lark M2S. I hope I don't screw up and call the wrong one the wrong name because they are very similar. They're both Lark M2. The new one is called S. And as you know, I am in a untreated small bedroom, so keep that in mind when you listen to the quality of the audio. So my neighbors are also doing plumbing work, and there's a guy cutting stuff just outside my window. So if that makes it into the microphone, hey, he's going to be a part of the review too. So right now I am using the regular Lark M2. It's underneath my shirt. If you want to see about those reviews, you can check out my review on the Lark M2. It was a few months ago. I'll link it in the description. I'm going to be referring to the USB-C examples of these products because that's what I have. I don't have the combo kit that comes with the mirrorless camera attachment stuff. I just have the USB-C version of both.
So here we are on the Amazon listing. We're going to quickly go over the specifications because I seem to have neglected that in the unboxing portion of the video. You can see here the three different styles that you can purchase. The 149 edition that comes with the mirrorless camera attachment, the USB-C attachment, a lightning adapter, and then the two microphones. So it seems there is a 139 option here you can get that is just missing the cable. So if you don't need that lightning to USB-C cable, I guess you can save $10, it looks like. But if you're not a professional videographer, this one here is going to suit most creators, just the USB-C edition. So going over the details here, of course, they're touting the tiny size and logo-free design of the microphone. And of course, that is one of the main selling points. Nobody wants that big DJI bling or Rode written on the front of a huge microphone pack that you have to wear right front and center while you're making your presentation. This is going to be very discreet and not distracting to your viewers. Going on, they say they have a titanium clip that is going to securely hold it during almost all your activities, and it does seem more secure than the magnet. The magnet that comes with the regular Lark M2 is strong. In fact, it's very strong, but if something hits it or pulls on it, it's going to come off. It has a 24-bit 48 kilohertz sample rating, a 70 dB signal-to-noise ratio, and a 116 maximum SPL. It has advanced ENC technology to remove low-frequency noises for polished audio. It has 2 levels of noise canceling, which you can adjust using the app. You have to use the app, and the device must be plugged into your phone while you're making those adjustments. Now, they tout a 300-meter, 1,000-foot range. That is line of sight facing the camera. With 2.4 gigahertz, once you turn around away from the camera, you're going to lose most of this. It will start cutting out. 2.4 gigs is really line of sight dependent. It has a 27-hour battery life, so that's counting recharging the units inside the charger. So each unit is going to last 9 hours, and it's going to take 1.5 hours to recharge. If you have the USB-C option, it has a plug-and-play design, unless you have a Google Pixel phone, which infuriatingly makes you go into the menus and select wireless microphone, which is complete garbage. Google, you got to fix that. It needs to be automatic. At least default. I mean, having the choice is good, but if you plug in a wireless mic, default to using the wireless mic. Okay, rant over. So that about sums up the specifications here. You can see this dude here clipping it onto its shirt. Looks really elegant. 30% lighter, only 7 grams. It's talking about that clip being more stable than magnets, and you can bend it 10,000 times. But make sure you don't go over 45 degrees. Going over the sound quality, checking out the noise reduction here, and then going over the battery life. Quickly, before we leave here, let's flip over, and I want to show you the Lark M2. This is still my #1 choice. I really like this microphone, but if you like this clip design on the Lark M2, then get the clip design. The audio is close enough to where it makes no difference, really. So just get the design you want. I would recommend both of them, but for the price, I'm leaning towards Hollyland Lark M2. The only exception to this recommendation is if you have DJI products, you can get the DJI Mic Mini for like $50 and just use it to connect to your DJI products, and you don't have to have an adapter. You don't get the charging case or the adapter or anything, but it is a very good microphone for $50. But otherwise, this is the one I recommend unless you need this one. All right, now back to the video.
That being said, let's get into... I've been recording for 6 minutes yet, and I still haven't opened this box. Lord have mercy. Opening up the box here. We are here for you. And this is pretty much it. What we got under here? Oh, got the obligatory Hollyland bag, because that's the only thing with the Hollyland. All the accessories do not fit in the carrying case. It is a nice, small, sleek carrying case, but you got to keep some of the accessories in the bag. You don't need every accessory every time you record, so you don't always need the bag, but just so you know, all the accessories do not fit in there. In this bag, you're going to have cables and wind muffs. And there is nothing else in this box. That's it. It is empty. Let's see what's included in this little packet here. In the We Are Here For You packet. It's a quick start guide. A packing list card. You all see that? Compliance information. Nobody cares about that. And the quick start guide. The quick start guide just quickly tells you what the buttons are for, what the lights mean, what the charging case does, and how to clip the microphone the right way to your clothing. The important part here says use less than a 45-degree angle. There is a companion app you can put on your phone, and when this is connected via USB-C, you can open the app and change some settings and download updates if there's a firmware update. This after sales card doesn't really say anything. It just says, we are here for you. Let's get in touch. But it doesn't say how to get in touch or anything important. It just says, we are here for you. So, not sure what the point of that is. Missed the trash can. So the party trick to the Lark microphones is they are small and discreet. Like the one I'm wearing now, the Lark M2, you wouldn't know I have it on under my shirt and it sounds great, except for the fact that I'm in this room with no sound treating. There's probably some echoing going on, but I can't help that right now. This little guy takes small to a whole new level. It's like you thought it couldn't get smaller, but it could. And how did they do that? They've built a way for you to clip this onto your shirt where the big part with the battery and the electronics for the transmission is behind your clothing, and then there's just a small microphone that shows on the front of your clothing. And let me show you, we've come a long way, folks. Do you remember back in the day when we had these giant Rode microphones and you had to find a way to like clip them to the front of your shirt here, and then it's just like pulling your shirt down. This is not the way. Let me show you the difference between this. You can see it just, what a mess. I mean, who wants to wear that there? Let's go ahead and show you the Lark M2S. So here is the Lark M2S. Now we'll cut to some B-roll here so you can see a close-up picture of it. You can see the back of the M2S is very similar to the previous Lark M2, but there's no microphone on it. The microphone comes out through this little curved piece that kind of moves so you can clip it to stuff, and then you have a little microphone capsule that's going to hang out on the front with no logos on it, and it's very discreet and much smaller. Okay, so this is your first audio example with me wearing the Lark M2S. See how much smaller it is? That is crazy. You remember how that Rode Wireless Go was pulling down my shirt? Look at this thing compared to the Lark M2S. This is huge. Even the small little DJI Mini, it's a lot smaller, but it's still noticeable because you got that giant DJI bling on the front. So what do y'all think the audio sounds like? I'm wearing both microphones at the same time. The Lark M2S is still underneath my shirt. If we do a little audio check between the Lark M2S now, and then quickly switch over, and this is the Lark M2. What do you think is better? Lark M2S, Lark M2. So now you're listening to me on the Lark 2S. That is the little guy here clipped like a lapel on the top of my shirt. This is the new model that just went on sale, and I picked it up on Amazon for $119.99. Now, Amazon changes their price all the time, so I can't promise the price is going to stay $119.99, but it is right now if you click on my link in the description. Now we're switched over to the Lark M2. This is the OG Lark M2 that I love so much and I've been using for the last several months as my main microphone. Amazon has it listed for $92 right now for the USB-C model. Now, that is awesome price. So if you have a phone and that's what you film with for your TikToks, your YouTubes, your whatever you're doing, pick up this USB-C model. I highly recommend the Lark M2, and we'll find out soon enough if I like the audio from the Lark M2S. Which one do y'all like better? The Lark M2S sound or the regular Lark M2? From other videos featuring the Lark M2 versus the Lark M2S, I've noticed the Lark M2S has a more deep or flat tone to it, which is not a bad thing because you can always adjust your EQ in post. And some people like the flat EQ. So in my opinion, the Lark M2S has more of a flat, and the Lark M2 might have a little bit more high end, maybe a little bit more of what they call sparkle to the voice. So what's y'all's take on that? Do you agree with me that the Lark M2 sounds a little bit more sparkly than the Lark M2S? Let me know in the comments. So now we're going to go outside. You know, we don't need to do a range test. One of the things you have to know about these little microphones' range, they're line of sight, and they work on the 2.4 gigahertz. So they're going to get blocked easier than the old-fashioned UHF body packs that you used to wear. So if you're facing the camera and there's nothing in between you, your range is going to go for days. But if you turn your back to the camera, you might as well cut your range to like 25% of what they say. So just keep that in mind. As long as your line of sight facing the receiver, you're not going to have many problems. If you go behind obstacles or turn your back to the camera, you're going to need to be more careful with that 2.4 gigahertz. There is no backup recording with the Hollyland Lark series. The M2 or the M2S neither have backup recording like the bigger DJI Mic 2 and the Rode Wireless Go 2 and the Pro. Those are going to have backup recordings. These little small guys are not. And that also goes for the DJI Mic Mini. It does not have a backup recording. So now that you've seen how discreet the Lark M2S is without the wind muff, now chances are some of your recordings are going to be outside, and you're going to want to use that wind muff if you go outside. Both of these do have noise canceling. I think it's -10 dB and -15 dB for strong, but that's not really going to help you with wind. That's going to help you with background noise like traffic or a lot of people talking. It's just going to focus the noise out and focus on your voice. It's not really going to help with wind noise. So you're going to want that wind muff if you go outside. So let's get that put on and we will see what it looks like. So here is the wind muff for the Lark M2S. And you can kind of see how it fits on here on the back. I hope you can. There's like a little slot here that you're going to slide that microphone capsule into to get it to lock in there. Now when I take this out of the charger, it's actually going to connect to the camera. So y'all will hear me. See, it's connected now. So now y'all will hear all the rustling. Maybe I can turn this back off. Hang on. Okay, there we go. So to connect the microphone, you see this is the front of the microphone that has the little holes for the sound to get in. You're going to want that facing out. So you're going to just slide that in. So you're just going to slide this in. Okay, so it's not as easy as it looks. So you're just going to slide this in. So Lark has never been a champion of making their dead cats easy to use. There it goes. Now it's on. So that's what it looks like with the dead cat on, or the wind muff, whatever you want to call it. So here it is with the wind muff on. How does it sound now? Did that change the audio any? It shouldn't really change the audio, but here's an audio sample just to make sure it didn't. It's still pretty small and discreet, but it's certainly not as discreet as it used to be. Now, it's much more discreet than the sea urchin. I think y'all remember why we called that the sea urchin. Let me go ahead and put this one on. Whoop, I just lost my magnet down my shirt. So to get the sea urchin on the Lark M2, you kind of just gotta just mush the whole microphone into this hole here. Make sure it's pointed up. That little arrow, see, it's hard to tell where up is. And now, there you have it. The Lark M2S and the Lark M2, both with their wind protection on. We got a semi-discreet on the Lark M2S and then sea urchin on the Lark M2. And my battery just died in my light back here. That's unfortunate. So we're going to go outside and do an experiment now. You can see I am wearing two of them. I got a wind muff on one, and then I'm going raw on the other one. So what we're going to do, they are in stereo mode right now. I'm not an editing expert, so if this doesn't work, that means I couldn't figure out how to edit stereo sound. So what I'm going to do when we're testing the audio, I'm just going to remove the audio track. Y'all get the idea. I'm recording in stereo, but when we do the test, it's going to obviously be on only one channel. We're not checking both of them at the same time. So let's go outside. It is dark outside. I don't have a light for my camera, so the audio is what we're going to be testing. Don't worry about how crappy the video gets here. It is very dark out here. It's actually completely dark right now. So what do we sound like here? There's not very much wind going on. We got a little bit of wind blowing into the microphone. If I do the channels back and forth, I will notate on the bottom which channel you're listening to at what time. This camera I'm using is actually really good. There is like no light out here. That light you see on the horizon, I can't even hardly see that with my eyes. So anyway, we're getting some more wind now. What does this sound like? Let me turn into the wind here. It is kind of windy right now. It's blowing directly into the front of the microphone. Oh, there's a good wind gust. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit the noise canceling button and see what that does to the wind. Oh wow, it is really windy now. So here we go. Hitting the noise canceling button in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're in noise canceling mode. My sensor light went off. Come on, porch light. There it goes. It came back on. It's so dark out here. So now we are in noise canceling mode. What does that sound like? It is actually really windy out here right now, and we're in noise canceling mode on both microphones. As the wind is obviously getting into the microphone on one of the channels because I can see the meter. It is really windy now. I think we're supposed to get a cold front come through. See, right now it's about 70 degrees, and by tomorrow night we're going to be in the single digits. So let's turn the noise canceling back on. Okay, the noise canceling is back on now. Did that make a difference? Noise canceling is on, noise canceling is off, and it is really windy out here right now. So I think y'all got the idea. I'm gonna go back inside. Like I said, it is about 66 degrees right now, and in a few hours it's going to be below freezing. So massive cool front coming through. So there's one last look of the wind muff and the no wind muff version of the microphone. I'm going inside. It's actually literally starting to get cold as I speak. I guess the last thing to talk about is the two different carrying cases. They are a bit different here. You got the Lark M2S over here, it's taller and skinnier, and the Lark M2, it's more squat and rounded than this one. I don't know, they're both rounded. Really, besides the form factor, the new case is a bit better. They got Hollyland on the top. It has a rubberized bottom, really. That's the only difference that makes this one a little bit better. It's like, this is the old Lark one, and this is the new one. I mean, it's not gonna slide. It's got that rubber bottom on it, if that matters to you. So in conclusion, I don't really have a good opinion on which one to recommend. I guess it's just whichever form factor you like the best. If this discrete lapel design suits you, then get that one. If the small magnetic attachments is what you're wanting, then get the Lark M2. So really, in audio quality, I give a slight edge to the Lark M2 just because I prefer the more crisp, sparkly audio and not the flat audio as much. But the audio's not bad on the Lark M2S. It's really good audio. It's just a preference of mine. Let me know down in the comments which one you like the best. And if you want to pick one of these up, like I said, the Lark M2S is $119.99 right now, and the Lark M2 is $92. I'll leave those links in the description. Now, if you click one of those links, I am an Amazon affiliate, That's how I make my money to run the channel here. Neither one of these microphones were given to me for free by the company. I purchased both of them, and this is not a sponsored video, so I would appreciate you clicking those Amazon links because food is getting expensive. You've seen the price of eggs lately? It's getting crazy. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Oh gosh, did y'all see that? That Lark M2 just popped out of the urchin, just boom, across the table.